Good morning, I'm Brian Fitzgerald, the Golf Doctor. In today's lesson, I thought it's about time we started looking at some bunker shots. And a lot of people get very scared about bunker shots. They don't like getting in them at all. But most golf pros, if you ask them, they love bunker shots. It's actually much easier to get a ball closer to the hole from a bunker than it is from the grass. I like to actually describe the bunker shot as an intentional fat shot, meaning that we take a divot and we get the club underneath the golf ball. So as long as we take the divot and we hit under the golf ball, there is a cushion of sand between the club face and the ball, which means the ball won't travel a very long distance. Even though we have a short distance to this particular flag, it's about a 15-metre bunker shot, I'm going to use a pretty full swing, because when the club hits the sand, it's going to tend to start stopping down or decelerating. So we have to allow for that when we play a bunker shot. So I try and err on the side of hitting the ball a little bit on the fat side, taking too much sand, and I try and use a big swing, because there's nothing worse than leaving the ball back in the bunker for the second bunker shot. Invariably it rolls back into your footprints and makes it much harder. So that's the process. The club, the energy on the club will be absorbed by the sand as it hits the sand in the downswing. So we have to allow for that. We want to make sure that we keep the club accelerating, not rapidly, but we just want to keep it moving. So when I'm swinging, I really work on trying to get my hands up to about shoulder height, come down and swing through to shoulder height as well. In terms of setup, a lot of people tell me that you should open the club face. I'm not one that really believes in that, particularly in Melbourne, where we have nice fine sand, and generally we don't have a lot of sand in the bunker. So if we tend to open the club face, that means the leading edge of the golf club tends to sit higher, and if there's a firm base, it might come down and bounce off the back. I like to have a square club face. I'm using my lob wedge or my 60-degree sand wedge when I play these bunker shots, and it is certainly a low bounce, so I find that works well. If I was going to play a bunker shot out of a bunker that had a lot of sand and quite thick, I might use my 56-degree sand wedge, because it's got a little bit more bounce. This particular one has 6 degrees, my 56 has 12 degrees, so that will help not dig the ball or the club face into the sand as I hit it. The other thing in my setup is I want to make sure that I have my weight on my front foot, although I don't tend to normally say it in those words, because quite often I say to someone, get your weight on your front foot, and they do this. So I feel like I've got my weight on my front foot, but you can see I actually have my weight back here, and that's going to encourage an ascending blow. When we play a bunker shot, we certainly want to hit with a descending blow. So I try and feel that I'm going to get my nose slightly in front of the golf ball. If I do that, that then makes sure that I have my weight on my left foot or my front foot. So from there, I'm going to hit somewhere behind the golf ball. I'm not precise with that. It doesn't have to be a ½ inch or an inch or 2 inches. It's just somewhere to the right of the golf ball. And then I'm going to come down and keep following through to shoulder height on the other side of my swing. Let's see how I go. Oh, the other thing I should talk about is ball position. The club should enter the sand roughly in the middle of your feet, so I like to have the ball just slightly forward of that position, because we don't want to hit the ball, we want to hit slightly under the golf ball. It's a very, very important thing. If you have the ball in the middle, you might actually touch the ball, and you hear that familiar click, which means the ball's gone too far. So it's just forward of centre. Let's see how I do. And the ball comes out, and that's to about a metre, just over a metre. That's okay. Hopefully I can knock in the putt. Thank you for letting me help you with your golf. I'm Brian Fitzgerald, the Golf Doctor.